Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Full screen, studio, editor. Hello, everyone. Hello. Sandeep is here. I can see you, Sandeep. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Welcome to the stream tonight. Hello, David B. Welcome back. David B., welcome back. Who knows what we're going to discuss? We are going to discuss something. We always discuss something. We've never had like dead air time. Has there ever been a dead air show? I'm in a good spirit. I'm in a good spirit. I've got a brand new jumper here, which I had cleaned. Which I had cleaned. Well, I didn't have it cleaned. I cleaned it myself. Can you see this? I mean, it was pretty clean as it is, but I cleaned it, and it's large. It's the kind of thing it would look great in a guy. It would look great in a guy. Look at how well this is done. Look at how well this is done. This is like really, I'm just so happy with this. Anyway, welcome. Welcome. Welcome to tonight. Today is the 268th day. This is the night show, the night stream, and the 12th of March. The 12th of March. The 12th of March. I was out and about. Do I look like I've got a little bit of sunburn? I'm walking down the street. I see my friend Lynn out of her house. I didn't even know she lived there, but she's got a house over there. She's got a house. Very, very lovely people. My friend Lynn. Andrew Rubin is here. Susan C. is here. For F's sake. We saw that. I know you did, but I washed it. It's now a clean jumper. That's all that matters. What's going on over here? Anyway, Susan C. Do we see it at 5 p.m.? I was working. Okay, so it's new for Susan. So don't give it away. Lewis, you're a terrible sight. Lewis, you're a terrible sight for a sober man. Okay. I know, I look pretty bad. I am sober. I am sober. I went out and I haven't been eating much today. So I just thought, you know what? I'll have an ice cream. And I got myself a Magnum. And then I thought to myself, you know what I want? I want something else. And I went and had marshmallow, whatever those things are called. They're called marshmallows. And so I've had that. I'm going to add this into my thing. And I shouldn't have had it, but I had it. I'm trying to remember what else I had today, which I have not put in there. Marshmallows, which I didn't have. Anyway, so Andy, Roger Morton, do you have any plans to go back on GB News? I have plans. I don't think they've got plans for me, but I have plans. If they don't want me, they don't want me. You know what I mean? Someday I'll go. I mean, I don't know what is the correct answer, Ranger Morton. What is the correct answer when your company has basically fired you and you'd like to go back? Any ideas? You know, any ideas? And so I had 80 grams of marshmallows and a Magnum. A Magnum. I don't know what the Magnum is called. Magnum is that the Magnum? Just an ice cream bar. One of them. Could it be that many calories? Oh my God, it's that many calories. Anyway, do you want me back on, Lucy? Did we ever get to the bottom of the Afro woman? We did. It's for sale for 95 Rand on on um on Google. I did a whatchamacallit search. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Photos. There's the Afro woman. There is the Google Lens. Magnum is the most powerful handgun in the world, and they call it a Magnum. Well, it's bad. It's bad, really. Acetate, Afro woman, rare 50s vintage green. No, that's not it. This is it. Um, it's metal. A magnet of champers. I'm up for that. What's a champer? With a small dose of C. Um, I had battered fish cake, champ, and peas. What is champ and peas? Am I going to have to look that up too? I'm going to look it up what champ is. What is champ? Is champ peas? What is champ peas? It's a creamy, under 30-minute Irish dish made by mashing boiled potatoes, milk, peas, scallions, and butter. It is often a popular Ulster side dish, often served with sausages. Mashed potatoes, basically. Sounds really good. Champ is mashed potatoes with scallions. I mean, I'm not a big mashed potato. I love mashed potatoes, and I probably would like scallions. I'm not a huge fan of scallions. Fuck, I'm on me. It's Irish mash. Okay, Susan, there we go. We've got a lot of Irish listeners here. I'm a huge fan of the Irish community. I don't know why. I meant Champagne Ardenne, except for in the famine. Sad. What wasn't considered good food in the famine. Didn't have enough protein. That's the problem. That's the problem. I read many things about the potato famine and maybe I didn't read anything, but I came up with my own independent opinion without ever knowing the real facts, and then I present it as the truth. Love spuds, so I do. Yes, spuds are amazing, but they're not good for you, and they're not really natural. We're not meant to eat potatoes. They're underground. They're underground, and they need to be cooked in order to become their processed food. Processed foods. Mash with fried eggs is bliss. Bliss. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Mash is just good. Is good. And his new model army. Yeah, no Jews, blacks, or Irish, please. I was with Jews first. A bit of the leftover cabbage or greens through the mash, and you got bubble and squeak. So if you add the cabbage or greens, you got bubble and squeak. I really haven't had that often. You know, I haven't had that often. Just the one eye. Let me just see if I can find more information about that thing. Photos. Let me see. Let me take another picture of this. Fried cabbage with onions and eggs. Uh, It's not my favorite thing, really. It's poor people's food. Isn't it poor people's food? I'm taking a picture of this, and then I'm going to go into the. Okay. You'll see what Google Lens says. Um, there's a lot that's similar to this, but it's not. There's only one that is this. Okay. It's Salty the Seal website. Keith Bexley says it sounds yum. It does say potatoes, mashed potatoes with butter and milk. Of course, it sounds yum. Extra true if you come from the black country, says Vatanai. What about the black country? Um, Oliver Cromwell let the Jews back in. Yeah, maybe you did. Is that why you got animosity towards the Jews, or is it just me, Lucy? Um, Oliver's army is on its way. That's true. Oliver's army is here to stay. But I would rather be anywhere else than here today. Right? Isn't that what that is? Oliver's army is here today. And I used to love that song. Oh my God, did I listen to that song over and over and over again? I can't find what it says anymore. Does anybody want to look for that? Let me see if I can. Let me just search down the list here. Okay. Adam and his aunts did some crackers too. I went and saw them. I just saw Adam. Adam Ant. But he didn't have and his aunts. It was just called Adam Ant. Kolkanen is Scottish mash. I never heard of that. I never heard of that. You guys don't need to eat that anymore. We're importing food. We're not growing. We're not growing local food. We will again. We will. Yes, we will again. What is? I'm going to look up what calcium is. Oh, it looks so good. It's traditional Irish dish of mashed potatoes with cabbage. It's a popular dish on St. Patrick's Day and on the feast day of St. Bridget. Is it traditional? There we go. Potatoes mashed with butter and milk and chopped up cabbage and pot herbs. It can contain other ingredients. So it's mashed potatoes. We used to have mashed potatoes too. I mean, potatoes are quite a common food. Where do potatoes come from originally? Where do potatoes come from originally? What is the history of potatoes? What is the history of potatoes? Um, Peru and Bolivia near Lake Titicaca. They were introduced during the Spanish conquest, but they weren't taken that seriously. Initially, there was suspicion and suspicion. What does that mean? Suspicion and suspicion. The very poor ate it. It's like all foods. Either starts with the rich and then the poor takes over, or it starts with the poor and then the rich takes over. Or it starts with the middle class and the rich take over, and sometimes the poor take over. The potato fueled a population boom. Potato famine. They don't ever say the reason that I know. History of the potato. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thoughts on the Louis Theroux Manosphere doc? Is that something new that he came up with? He's not Jewish. Looks Jewish, but he's not Jewish. What about that, Sandeep? What about that? Let me look for that for that. Oh, is it one of these things? Oh God, it's not. Let's hope it's not one of these things. Most chilling. Most chilling. I disown my son if he came out as gay. You got to stay away from that. Oh, look who they interviewed. Did they interview? Let's just see if Andrew Tate is there. Fine. Andrew Tate. That's how you know whether it's rubbish or not. Yeah, Andrew Tate. There he's mentioned. Louis is the part of the usual home, BBC, for glossy Netflix debut, was inspired to shine a spotlight on the dark underbelly of the group, like it's a group, discovering the so-called king of toxic masculinity, Andrew Tate, through his three sons. I had no idea who he was. Well, nobody has any idea who anybody is until they have an idea of who they are. Nobody has any idea. I had no idea of Albert Einstein before somebody told me about him. Oh, I hope it's not this way. I hope it's not this way. HS Tiki Taki and his wide-eyed counterpart Ed Matthews, who have taken over algorithms. American subjects Myron Gaines, Nicholas Ken, D. Balinthazy, known online as Sneeko, and Justin Waller are equally problematic for the same reasons, and then some. They all come across so disturbingly convincing at their craft that it's easy to understand why young boys are in fact. Oh, F you, F you, F you. Do you see this? Is this in one scene? The boys who look as young as 10 are seen chanting, F women and all gays should die, alongside their king Sneeko, a political commentary and social media personality who was once banned from YouTube for promoting. Gaines and Waller are both supported by the women in their lives who egg on their behavior in return for a relaxed life. How do we know that that's true? This is all despite several of the men thinking women shouldn't be allowed to vote, and sex workers, some of whom they profit from online, are repulsive. Oh, the fact that they're making this documentary. And a startling reality, given a recent study found that 31% of Gen Z men agree that a wife should always obey her husband, compared to 29% of millennial men, 21% of Gen X men, and basically, it's the same. It's the same. Gen Z and millennial men are the same, and Gen X men. Only 13% of boomer men, but you're constantly bad-mouthing the boomers. I'm a boomer. I've never seen Thoreau confronted with such a vicious way within his own territory while the cameras are rolling. I'm going to cancel Netflix. Amid all the discussions of misogyny, homophobia, and pornography, the most uncomfortable part is seeing him subjected to vile anti-Semitic comments. They aren't thinly veiled remarks. Well, maybe that's what the thing is about. Sullivan doesn't mind being called misogynistic, homophobic, and a scammer. What does Lucy think about this? Because she's our representative of this. A great thing about late night porn sites work faster, or so I'm told. Blazing. Okay, let's see. Comparing 31% to 29%. Exactly. You're making a face like I don't know what the hell it's the same number, basically. Lewis was arrested due to the Epstein files. Yeah, keep that down. Nobody needs to know that. But what happens in Florida stays in Florida. I've lived here for over 300 years, and this age is the best so far. Okay, thanks. I will get my banter on. Let's see what Lucy has to say about this. Like Nick Fuentes, I'm struggling here to see the dry humor. Tate is kind of like a sober Oliver Reed. Tate says and does what he does. He has a wicked sense of humor, just taking the piss, really, says Andrew. It could be that, really. It could be that. But I've been told that you're not allowed to even like the guy. Bavaria tried to introduce potatoes with no success. So the king outlawed them, and the peasants then stole them from the royal fields. Potatoes spread everywhere. Yeah, because you're not supposed to eat them. I remember I bought a purple potato when I was in South America, Central America, and I had to smuggle it in because I thought I got to smuggle it in. What do you say, Sandeep, about this? Okay, because social media can be harsh and the streets are doing their own thing. So if this is for fun, I'm here for it. All love. Lewis, can you show us on Andrew's teddy bear where he touched you? Yeah, it'd be nice. Nobody's interested in touching me. Just munching on 6 Cumberlands, which are my favorite sausage in this country. I agree with you. Cumberlands are my favorite sausage. There's something about that. Maybe is it because it has a slightly higher carb level? I don't know. Keir likes sausage. He might. He might. He might. Who knows what his story is? Basically, what his story is. Let's go back and see if there's another thing about this thing. He's setting up to make him look bad. Basically, that's I think what he's doing. Let's see what it says. I like Myron Gaines. He used to be a cop, I think. Well, whatever. He used to work for the federal government in something, not even in immigration. A lot of people like it. 6 reviews, 7, 8, and 9 and 10. 1 review is a 1. Is a 1. He's a great filmmaker, Louis Theroux, but I mean, I don't know. What is this here? I mean, it's a 7. I guess a 7 is a strong number. Is a 7 is a strong number. Esquire. I mean, these are all like gay publications. Empire. Let's see what Esquire says. Accept. Digital spy. Um, he left the BBC. He took the BBC's money, and now he's gone. And now he's gone. Can you see this, everybody? The religious thingy after Lewis. I went back a few times. The religion over there hits different. Yeah, because they believe in that stuff over there. He takes people who are like, I don't know. He's got a way about him that makes him seem like he's like open to stuff. Does he not? I like little bratwurst, and they used to have. Same with me. I got tons of little bratwurst in here in my refrigerator, but mine. And they used to have Nürnberg, a small bratwurst. They were good. Yeah, little stuff is. I like little stuff. I like little stuff is good. Lewis, play when Louis met Eugene should I do that? Who is Eugene? I'm afraid to. I'm afraid to. I like Louis to begin with, but his old age, he smells a little. Well, that's like me. Or maybe I don't. I don't mean. I'm not even sure I smell anymore. I'm not sure. Let me fix this thing. This thing looks like it's imbalanced. Let's do it like that. Um, I like that. I haven't read much. Haven't read Donka. The beer bear, the girl bear, or the in-between bear, says Susan C. Um, What does Lucy say about Lewis was arrested to do with the Epstein files? Can you keep it down, Andrew? Can you keep it down? Nobody needs to know anything about this thing. No one needs to know. Investigative journalist equals Savile, take two. Well, did he do a good job with Jimmy Savile? I'm not sure he did. He didn't expose Jimmy Savile. Later on in life, there were some really bad moments, but I'm not sure he did a good job. I like Louis to begin. Right. Wait, I need a moisturizer before I go hunt. Lewis plays a great game of Twister, apparently. I was in a lift with Savile and my twin sister at age 16, and he was unforgettable. It was cringe. In what way was he unforgettable, Susan? Did he hit on you? Did he hit on you? Was he successful? Isn't, you know, isn't isn't 16 consentable in Britain? Now then, yes. What does it mean? Dear Jim, can you fix it for me? Okay, we're not going to read that. We're not going to read that, just to be on the safe side. And also, I don't want to read. These manosphere guys could catch real food. Well, they're like sharks. Is that what you're saying? They're like sharks. Possibly, that's true. That's true. I want to hear what Jimmy Savile did to you. I went to the place in Nuremberg where their bratwurst originated, grilled over wood, washed down with they were grilled, they weren't fried, with wheat beer. Great. Then I went to the famous rally ground for a few. Very funny, very funny. I once served Savile a coffee around 1999, says Corsair. He looked a bit like a sad old man, penetrating gaze. Yeah. I mean, nobody dies a happy ending, especially Jimmy Savile. He was like, everybody was saying he was a creep. He was a creep, and that's not a good way to go. Not a good way to go. Twins, you know it when you see it. Yeah, he was thinking twins. He was making a joke. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was serious. So did you throw him a bone, Susan? It's very down at heel football pitch now. It's a very down at the heel football pitch now. Let's see if we can get some pictures of that. Max Morlock Stadium in Nuremberg, home to one FC Nuremberg, is currently facing challenges regarding its modern functionality, with the city council planning to remodel the stadium to fit limited financial capabilities. The city is looking to adapt the stadium, which is often considered dated compared to other modern Bundesliga arenas, to fit with limited financial possibilities. The stadium, a municipal stadium used by the Nuremberg Football Club, has difficult heritage and is located on former Nazi Party rally ground, specifically near Zeppelin Field. It remains the home of FC Nuremberg for Bundesliga football. Let's see if we can get a picture of it. Is this what it is? I mean, what do you do with places like this? Do you tear it down just because something horrible happened there? You know, it's like when what's his name went up to that supposedly racist town, and they said to him, this is a racist town, and you were here. Donald Trump said, and Donald Trump went, "Who was the last president to visit this town?" And someone shouted, "Joe Biden." You remember that? And he went, "Yeah, Joe Biden. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. What do you do?" Nazi Party rally grounds today. Let's see what this is all about. Six of the 10 party rallies, last 11 devoted to peace and canceled in 1939. The last time the party officials and thousands of men and women were on the way to conduct a mass rally devoted to peace, the German Wehrmacht was making its preparations before the invasion of what's Europe. Yeah, very bad. Very bad. There's the Nazis. There's the Nazis. Well, you guys are going to be called Nazis someday if you continue. Not if you don't believe that stuff, but the people here, they. Oh, there's a plane. Um, it's a bit sad. They're talking about the different party conferences. Look at color photography. The model of the Nazi Party rally, they're supposedly never finished state. Albert Speer initially conceived. Okay. To be honest, he was great company, down to earth guy, but he didn't have a pouch. And we weren't in the swimming pool. Who are you talking about here? I shouldn't have said that. Ralph said to a 12-year-old, can you see what it is yet? Who here ever wrote to Jimmy Savile? That's a good question. We all did. I never did, but okay, he had his own bone. I heard people acknowledge twins before, and that was not it. Mary, he never showed my picture either. Hello, Blazing Stars. I was distraught. Who else is here? Who is Eugene? Who is this guy? Eugene Terreblanche. Let's see who Eugene Terreblanche is. South Afrikaner nationalist and white supremacist who founded and led the neo-Nazi Afrikaners state. Yes, okay, I've heard of him now. And what? Yeah, so there you go. Reconstituted National Party, candidate for local office in the Transvaal. He was a major figure. His beliefs and philosophy continued to be influential. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's called racist today, so I've got to be careful with what I say. Um, Terre Blanche in the region was French Huguenot refugees. Born on a farm in Transvaal in 1941, attended. He had a lot of interaction with black people growing up and spoke influential Setswana. While at school, he gave early expression to his political leanings by founding the Young Afrikaner Hearts. He was murdered by two of his employees after an altercation over unpaid wages. His only remaining family member is his grandson, Grand Terreblanche, who recently was involved in female abuse lawsuits. I hope I am never famous. I'm sorry. I know you want me to be famous. I don't want to be famous. This is what happens when you're famous. Can you see this? Are you looking at this? Are you looking at this? Mary is here. Hello, Mary. Good to see you. He was a violent man. I mean, it's really sad when you're not of your time and when your time is slipping away. Control of news, desire of freedom, police spying on ordinary folk, extreme ideology, and say we are so close to a Nazi or Soviet style government. Yes, we are. Yeah, we are. This is what's happening in the world today. Control of the news. Even my own son doesn't know what's going on as much as he should. For sure. Yeah, it's a scary time. I thought the painter and decorators party was not to be mentioned, unlike in Aliving or PDF files. Yes, did I mention it? Maybe I shouldn't mention it. I mean, I don't know what I can and cannot mention. I'm going to try not to mention it. But if something sneaks through, what can I do? Andy met Russ Abbott at a cricket match. Tony Hart from Morph was never accused. He's a gem. Who is Tony Hart from Morph? Okay, don't scare me. I'm really trying, guys. I know it's weak. What are you saying? And what is Andrew saying? Too late, Lewis. Too late for what? Internet. I'm famous. I guess I am. I'm an internationally famous film extra. XGB News. No, I'm a present. Recently seen on GB News. Recently seen. Recently seen. Who's Tony Hart? One of the best guys ever. Google Bob Ross while you're at it. He could beat a good critter. Who is Tony Hart and Bob Ross? I'll Google it right now. I got to find this stuff out. Um, Iconic English artist and TV presenter. He was a beloved figure. And who is Tony Hart? Bob Ross, like Tony Hart, Bob was a beloved artist. The joy of painting. Wet on wet technique, emphasizing that there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Both men are celebrated for their gentle demeanor. Bob Tony Hart. He's a BBC TV artist. Brilliant. Brilliant. Barrymore. I knew someone who worked with him for years before Barrymore got famous. This person told me that Barrymore was an ass, which, as the person who told me he was a big ass until the pool. And then you believed he was. I don't know. What did he do wrong? I mean, the guy died in his home. I mean, it sounds like a wild gay party. Bob was an ex drill sergeant after years of shouting at people. I guess, you have to learn how to shout. It's not that easy to shout. I mean, I shout at you guys, but, it's not that easy. Andrew Rubin, thank you for saying that. Rusty Brown is here. Hello, Rusty. The sound of that paintbrush against the thingy. Good whacking. Good whacking. What does good whacking mean? Spanking. What does that mean, spanking? Spanking. What year was this show on? Tony Hart. Let's see what year the thing was on. Worked on Blue Peter. I was the same age as my dad. Gurkha Regiment. That's the old days. That's when British people were. Was born in Hastings Road, Maidstone. Drawing from an early age. He attended All Saints. Things were different back then. Went to join the Air Force. Career. I'm going to Maidstone on Saturday. Hart's break into broadcast television came in 1952 after his brother persuaded him to attend the party where he met a BBC TV presenter, television producer. He was on a lot of different TV shows. Morph was his character, created by Peter Lord of Aardman Animations. Hart met his wife working in television. They married in 1953. They were married for 50 years until she died. They had a daughter together. People don't have that many kids anymore, or at all. They have like no kids. There was a flash mob organized through Facebook, paid tribute to Hart with around 200 more figures displayed outside the Tate Modern Gallery. Hart's daughter attended and judged the best morphin show. Okay, it was something that's really nice. A mural at Maidstone bus station was created featuring Tony Hart and his side chick, Morph. Let's see what it says about Tony Hart. I'm learning about this. Is this what Morph looked like? Very interesting. I did write to Jimmy Savile, says Mom. I wanted him to fix it for me. To meet Tom Ritchie. Tom Ritchie, my favorite football player for Bristol City. I'm relieved he didn't reply to my letter. Now I know what he was like. Yeah, I mean, yuck. Canadian, maybe. Bake a ham, huh? I don't know what that means. It's no, Bob Ross is the USA. Maybe that's a famous name for artist, Bob Ross. Bob Ross. He was huge in America. He was huge. He also sounded creepy. The sound of that paintbrush against the thingy. Good whacking. Mary says Tony Hart was born in Kent. Lovely. When Louis met Jimmy, he was running on a treadmill smoking a cigar. I think it was all show what he did, like his running. He wasn't really running. Tony first appeared in a program for deaf young people, the famous Gallery of Viewers pictures with that music, says Tony about Tony Hart. He was my fave thing to watch when stoned. Oh my God! Let's not admit that. Let's not admit that. I'm against that. I'm against that. I'm against that. I'm against that. Hart was most famous for the show called Vision On, which was for deaf children. It was signed. That was on for years before his own show called Vision On. He was on that government advert called Move. Oh yes, he had a son painted. He had a son who painted like him. Painted like him. Sheesh. I'm pissed. Sorry, did you say you were against that? Against what? Against what? Oh, talking about the DRUGSs. Yeah. I mean, I'm not against it. I'm sort of against it. I'm not great. I'm not against it. It's like drinking, It just it may not be good for you, but it's probably better for you than drinking. Probably, possibly. Is that was that your question, Susan C? Is that your question? Let's see what it says about this TV program. I can see it was around a really long time. You could build up a it's like our relationship that we're having here. If you spend enough time with somebody and you build up a love. Ravensbourne University. Where is Ravensbourne University? It's in Penrose Way, Greenwich. It's new. It's relatively new. Have you heard of this place, Ravensbourne University? And why is it in Greenwich? What is the history of it? I met somebody who was like studying something there. I'm starting my hand this. Um, Penn. I guess that's over there. It's on the other side of the O2. What is the history of it? Let's see if there's a Wikipedia entry. Got 8,000 students. When was it? 1962. Was it well, Ravensbourne? How was it named? Was established an amalgamation of Bromley School, Sidcup School, Beckenham School of Art. It was originally at Bromley Common and later in Chislehurst, and then on Greenwich Peninsula. So it's moved closer and closer to London. We're opened a new campus in autumn 2010. It's named after the river Ravensbourne, which flows from Bromley Common to Greenwich. Let's see if that's true. That's could be true. I've walked along it. And Keston Common. I've been up there. That's great. That's really great. You know this place. 28th, no. What is the length? 17 miles. 69 square miles is the basin. Ravensbourne, Ravenville, Riverpool, River Quaggy. Where is the River Quaggy? Kid book goes into Lewisham. The rivers of London are the most amazing things. I was walking today along the River Peck, and the water was so clean. It looked really clean. Whether it was clean or not, it's something else. The river rises near Princess Royal University in Locksbottom, and it is a tributary which flows near Lewisham Station. It's a tributary. What does that mean, a tributary? Kidbrook, KYD Brook, an area of open farmland and countryside upstream from is owned and managed by the National Trust, but is open to the public free of charge. I love old stuff. Um, the name probably originated from the words quagmire and quaggy. Quaggy. Edith Nesbit, who was isn't wasn't she married to who is she's famous, Edith Nesbit. Nesbit. Oh no, that's the American model. who was involved in the death of killing the great American architect. The great American, yes, Sanford White. White's murder. White's murder. She was obsessed. Look at how beautiful she was. She died in 1967. She lived on. She lived on even though she had a guy murdered, supposedly. She was married to Henry Kendall Thaw, American businessman. He shot and killed this guy Stanford White in front and witness in the rooftop theater of the Madison Square Garden on June. Thaw's trial for murder was heavily publicized, called the trial of the century. After one hung, the second jury found not guilty by reason of insanity. He harbored obsessive hatred of White, believing he had blocked Thaw's access to the social elite of New York City. Maybe he was just crazy, this guy. While White also had previous romantic relationship with Thaw's wife and model and chorus girl, Evelyn Nesbith, and started when she was 15 or 16. This affair allegedly began with White plying Nesbith with alcohol and possibly even drugs, and then oaring her while she was unconscious. In Thaw's mind, this relationship had ruined Nesbith. Yeah, tragedy, really. Tragedy. The tragedy, plagued by mental illness throughout his life, evident that even in childhood, spent lavishly to fund his obsessive partying, drug addiction, and sexual gratification. The Thaw's family wealth allowed them to buy silence of anyone who threatened to reveal Thaw's licentious transgressions. However, Thaw had serious confrontations with the criminal justice system. He was born in Pennsylvania. His second wife, Thor's father, fathered 11 children from his two marriages. Thor had 5 siblings, so his father was like a player around. A brother born a year before Harry died of accidental death in infancy, smothered by his mother's breast while he lay in her bed. Oh, that's an awkward way to die. I don't know why I'm reading this to you. Why am I reading this to you? This is quite interesting to me. Do you find this interesting? I borrowed a mate's spas 12, and my mind is blown. Rusty, we always ask for a size smaller, loudly. As a man, getting measured for a suit is awkward. It's the inside leg, crotch size, hip size, chest size. Ladies like Mary walk into the clothing shop and say, "Do you have anything in a size 12?" I think that women have a harder time than men. And if you're the right size, if you're not fat, you can fit into anything, basically. Lewis is busy. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know if I can do 2 shows a night. I don't know if I've got the energy, or maybe this is the way these shows are going to be. They're not going to be as effusive or overbearing or exciting as the earlier shows. I don't know. Andrew Rubin, a lot of authors took LSD. Peter Pan in books. That's what that song White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane was about. I'm not sure. Um, that's what the song is about, but I don't think what's his name wrote that about that. U.S. Navy just opened the Straits of Hormuz. They opened the Straits of Hormuz. Is that what you're saying? Let's go check that out. That's good news? That's good news. News. Strait of Hormuz. Let's see what's news. Uh, Yeah, so and it didn't open. I don't know. Navy will escort oil tankers through the Straits of Hormuz. U.S. military rescue efforts underway after Iraq calls on international coalition. Um, that's not the same thing as they're saying. Oh, it's open. It's saying the U.S. is gonna escort the um, Iran's new leader. I thought the guy's dead. I'm not reading the lies from the BBC. Iran threatens world supply chain by targeting Straits of Hormuz 6 hours ago. Straits of Hormuz. Um, 6 ships. Iran's new leader vows to keep blocking. 23 minutes ago. This is NBC News. Mukhtar Khamenei defied calls by Trump. What is the price of oil? Not that it matters, but it does matter. Price of oil images. Latest. Let's see. It's going up a lot. Let's just see not one day. Let's just see what it is for 1 year. Now look at that. Pretty cheap, and then boom. And then down, and then boom. Down and boom. There's something wrong. Something is wrong. Anyway, let's get back on track. Like you, Lewis, I'm very rich. Okay, I'm really happy for you. I thought the Jefferson Airplane song was about Alice in Underpants, an adult corn video. Funny. Okay. Don't believe it. Even if the mighty USA cannot guarantee safe passage through the Straits of Hormuz. Iran is trying to drag China in the conflict. China buy 90% of it to power its production. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. I spoke to my friend Doug today about it, and he explained it to me, and then he explained it to my son. It was the exact same explanation I used. Why they're doing it? Why are they doing it? They're doing it because for 47 years we've put up with Iran, and now this is payback. That's the number one reason. The second reason is it costs us millions more every single year to fight the Houthis, to fight Hezbollah, to fight Hamas. It costs a lot of money. And we got fed up with it. Rusty, you were born funny. How do you know he's born funny? We only know he's funny now. He could have developed it last week. China economy goes into recession. They will get involved. They're going into recession. Haven't you been following this? Haven't you been following this? They're going into recession, basically. What's going on here?
Couple of days, most of the focus from the Islamic occupation forces has been to control the streets because they want to prevent the uprising.
China wants Taiwan semiconductors. I mean, maybe they do, but I mean, I'm not sure that's the reason that America's given for this while we're involved in but what happens when America makes its own semiconductors? That looks like what we're doing. We do make a lot of semiconductors, and we're going to make them all. Yes, Lewis. Mission creep, World War III. I think, you know what? This is the best time for America to be doing it. I am optimistic about it, and it feels good. I support, it's not just about supporting Israel. This was an anti American Western thing. Even if there were no Jews, Iran did what it did 47 years ago and needs to be punished. It needs to be punished. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Suzanne, too true. And get a log burner, woods full of trees and windfall. Yes. Let's pray for this country. Let's pray that we get a government that cares about it. Let's the people get moving. I've got two hardworking boys here, which they're not working hard enough. They haven't been given the opportunity yet. They got I don't know. Iran's new leader is apparently targeted all U.S. bases. With what is he targeting it with? They're always targeting U.S. bases. Iran. They targeted U.S. bases with the Taliban, with Hezbollah, with Hamas, with the Houthis. This is what they do. Damn, Luigi has done a big puke. Can I leave it until the morning? No, you got to clean it up immediately. You got to clean it up immediately. You got to. I think you basically have to clean it up immediately. Let's get over here. Let's get over here. I mean, you gotta, countries. You can't mess with countries. You can if they have if they're not going to punish you, and that's what America should have done. We should have been punishing these people. Don't you agree? Do you agree? Do you agree? We should have. I mean, we didn't punish Iran. It was 47 years. We're waiting for like the last possible minute to punish Iran. And who knows? And you know what I've been following, that maybe perhaps atomic energy isn't quite. I mean, maybe I'm not saying this is true. I don't believe this. But it's been said that maybe the atom bomb isn't quite as atom bomby. Have you heard this? Have you heard this? That the atom bomb is not as atom bomby. I don't know. You must have the same exact phone as me, as all your notification texts sound identical to mine. Well, what is yours? What phone do you have? I've got an Apple 19 phone. IOCE, how Muslims scream death to the infidels when they fall and they cry human rights. I mean, the Muslims kept on saying death to America. And we took them seriously. Neutron bomb just kills living targets. Yeah. Yeah, well, I can understand how that could be a good idea. Sanctions, they have no running water in Tehran. Well, let's say you keep on, like, look, sanctions can work. Can work. Can work. So, Rusty, what phone do you have? Speak to the weak ass UK. What? I mean, yeah, we want our country to be strong. But why are we not strong? I think we're not strong because we don't have the right leader to make us strong. Maybe the bad people have gone over to Keir Starmer and all those other people and just offered them money. Do what we say, we'll give you money. We'll make you rich. We'll give you millions and millions. I think we should try to say we should try saying to Iran, excuse me, but please, could you be a bit nicer and not sponsor terror here and there? We can all be friends. Thank you, Vatanai. That is quite funny. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked with Iran. It hasn't worked. UK is strong, but has wankers in charge. Yeah, maybe, but we've let them, so maybe we're not strong to deal with these wankers. That sounds like Tusi. What did Tusi say? I love that guy. Home Office is 90% Islam. I could believe that too. I could believe that too. You know, they've come in and they've taken over, but they say the Jews have taken over. If you puke a poo on the floor at this time, clean it up quickly because the police arrest you at 3 a.m. for hate speech. They will find your booking under they will file your booking under mentally unstable, says Rusty. Yeah, they'll say you're crazy. You didn't clean up the puke. That's what the Greens would say. What the Greens are going to take over, and they hate this country. Basically, they hate that politicians are not interested in our present only, in their present, comma, period, or comma, only in our future, in their future. That's I would say that's right, Mary. I think people misunderstand us English. Once we snap, that's it. Well, let's put our finger on that. Once we snap. I have a Motorola 5LCX or something. Well, I have a Moto too. That's what I've got. I've got a Moto G84. I don't know what a 5LX is. I've never heard of that one. Maybe. Just seeing TikTok of people harassing random Jews off the street talking about Palestine. It pissed me off. Yeah, come on. This country, you want to be known as an anti-Semitic country? You don't want to be known that way. I know you people aren't, but those people, they've let in people who hate Jews. I have a vintage Kawasaki 600. Is that your motorbike? Susan says naval fleet. What? Cyprus? Who? Inshallah. I saw an unreleased interview of David Cameron today. He was giving a speech about making sure Muslims are able to get to the highest positions in the UK to attract more of them here. I could believe he said that. Yeah. I could believe they all said that. The Greens want to be nice to everybody, while our enemies tighten the noose around our necks, says Vatanai. The Greens, I'm going to read that again. The Greens want to be nice to everyone, while our enemies tighten the noose around our neck. Yeah, it's horrible. Look how people in the Middle East are putting their oil money into everything in the world, like sports, tourism, property, and loads else. Why on earth would they not put money into politics? And they do. They're sending money. And you're right. You're right. Everybody knows it's insidious and it needs to stop, Susan C. Yeah, it's a horrendous situation. The Greens are Islamicists. I'm not sure that they are, but they don't hate them. They're not afraid of them, which is basically being an Islamicist. Susan says, being where you had to be sworn on in the Bible, the Torah is closer than other novels. What does that mean? Could you rewrite that? Yes, I felt sick. How the F does your brain get to there? He went to eat. Who? He went to eat. He went to eat, says Andrew Rubin. Very scary about that. I mean, David Cameron, yeah. They think everything's going to be okay. They think everything is going to be okay. It means the Bible and the Torah. Well, the Torah is the first 5 books of the Bible. So you got the Torah plus all the other books makes the Bible. Okay? But the first 5 books are the Torah. Genesis, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Numbers, and then the other one. Sorry, I pressed the button talk too soon. Too soon. Yeah. What about yeah? I mean, I'm drunking. Oh, you're drunking. Okay. Well, you sounded all right. Don't worry about it. I know what a conservative nation. It shows how Blairite every government since has been, no matter what the color of the rosette. Yes. It's been a Blairite world. Cameron was epic when he did PMQs and ripped Corbyn like to shreds. No, he wasn't, because I made me like Corbyn by insulting the way Corbyn was dressing. Whatever. That wasn't super smart. Corsai, did you think that was smart? I have read all the holy books. I have time on my hands, being 1,000 years old. All the holy books is the Talmud, or the midrash mid. Oh my God, is that considered a holy book? Our government have been far left for decades. Yeah, they've been globalists. That's what left is globalism. Like I saw I saw all those videos about about um, about Nazi East Germany, and it was really scary. It was scary. I mean, they weren't as bad as the Nazis, but they were pretty bad, and the level of fear was horrific. They've been very left. Years ago, Peter Hitchens said that Cameron hated his party, and by implication, this country. Cameron admired Blair. Gov handed out Blair's book in cabinet. Well, you could probably learn how to take over from that Blair book, but and you should read your enemy's books. So maybe it was Gove. Those guys, can you trust them to lead the revolution? To read, how we're going to take back the country? I don't think you can. I was watching a video on Calvin Robinson where he said that people in prison formerly turned to the Bible in prison and would preach religion upon release. Now they just turn to drugs. Well, that's because Christianity is dead in this country. I don't know what it's like in America, but I don't think it is. Michael Gove, Boris Cameron, George Osborne, Rory Stewart are all part of the cadre at Eton. The teachers must have been CUNTS. Yeah, they were. It was a training ground to take over the world for globalism, and they wanted to run. You know who I've been watching? That woman, Susan Kohinda. Is that her name? And it just says really bad things about these people and how they've basically been running the country in a wrong way. Do you know who I'm talking about? Susan, I love you, Susan. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for putting up with me. I don't think I don't think I was that great tonight. I just don't feel like I had the energy tonight. I haven't had the energy for these late shows, basically, even though I did sleep relatively well. Angela Rayner is a 310. It's 3 out of 10 for me. Like a frozen garlic baguette left in your freezer. Nothing else to grab. Yeah, I know that feeling. But remember, a garlic baguette can be delicious, and if it's heated up, it can be amazing. And because I don't eat baguettes very often, and I don't eat garlic very often, it'd be like, oh, this is a wild treat. We thought the Blair Witch Project was a scary movie filmed on a handheld camera. I think they thought that in America too. Don't quote me on this, but apparently the name Mog means to brainwash people. It is a true, doesn't have the best name for politics. Jacob Rees-Mogg. Well, he was elected, and now he's gone. Can you ever imagine seeing him back? No, because the Tories are gone. Gov handed out Blair's book with all the bits that the Conservatives should follow, highlighted. Cameron, Osborne, and Gov called Blair the master. Well, you could learn about successful people. You could read books by the mustache man, the painter mustache man, and you could learn something. That doesn't mean you got to follow it. Put Rayner in a fleece, and she might do. She might do what? Put Rayner in a fleece, and then she might do. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by that. I love you people. I love you people. I have an appointment. Thank you, Susan, for asking. I'm glad you asked that. The tooth, I've got a scheduled appointment. I went to the dentist. I didn't wait. I went to the dentist. I prefer to leave her in a freezer with the baguette. Let's be nice. Let's be nice. I don't even know that. I don't. Let's be nice to people. Basically, let's be nice. Let's be nice. The point is, what is the point? No, I went over to my local NHS thing. I didn't have to go. You had to go private. No, I went to my local thing, East Dulwich. I'm not going to say what it is. East Dulwich Dentistry. Or you go. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what he says before I spend the money. Uh-oh. Before you go, you should be on the new banknotes. My idea is Susan Boyle of the £5 note. Is there any need for any banknotes? They're going to take away all the money. So why are they even designing banknotes? Like they're still making pennies. Are they still making pennies? Lewis, he's saying fleece. Lewis, he's saying fleece. Okay, what did you say? I know, I did read that. Put Rayner in a fleece. I read that. Then she might do. Might do for what? When diesel stores run out, haulage companies won't be able to distribute food and supplies to supermarkets. Be aware, folks. Yeah, it'll be, yeah. Speaking of potential bad names in politics, Barack rhymes with Iraq. Saddam's surname was Hussein, and Obama rhymes with Osama. I give you Barack Hussein Obama, the 43rd president of the United States. Yeah. The problem with him is not that he's an Islamist, but that he's a white man. Lewis for the one. Yeah, put me on the £1 coin, course I. Put me in the £1 coin. Let's do that. Anyway, Roger Martin. Thank you, Roger Martin, for coming. He was 20. 19 is Elite Elixir. 18 is Lewis. Who is Lewis? Lewis 8989. So that's somebody new. Can you do me a favor? Can you subscribe? Can you like? Everybody like and subscribe. Like, thumbs up, and then the little alarm thing. Gary Warren is back. Good to see you, Gary. He's 16. Paul Yoward is 15. 14 is David B. Thank you for making a return visit. Beautiful 13 is Mary, and there's Lucy up at 12. Up at 12. Rusty Brown is at 11. Blazing Stars is at 10. Andy is at 9. Hi-Ho Kermit is at 8. Mom is at 7. Beautiful, beautiful Mom. Keith Bexley is at 6. Vatanai is at 5. Corsai is at 4. Andrew Rubin is at 3. And there's Susan C. She's at 2. And number 1, I think this has to do with coming in early. You got to come early to be the top guy. Is Sandeep, my friend Sandeep. So I really do appreciate that. Everybody, while we're doing this now, write down who. Well, we got to get rid of the coins, basically. Are we using any coins? I want a bog off Kerm for that. Anyway, so there you go. Corsai says 27. I haven't looked at it yet. Maybe, write down the first person who writes down the largest concurrent number. The largest concurrent number. So write it down. Write down what you think, and you're guessing this. Maybe I should just drink coffee late at night and not worry about sleeping. Maybe that's what I need to do, just to get more excited. I'm not excited these shows. I think these last shows are suffering. 29 is Rusty Brown. Corsai is 27. 23 is Vatanai. 32 is Susan C. Mary is 26. Ruben is 29. It's scary how you people know this stuff. You're quite knowledgeable. Let's just see what the current top total is. Okay. No, Andrew, you cannot win. So anybody who wants to claim one of Andrew's number, You can't win this time because you've written more than one thing without being asked. Susan can keep me up. Okay. I'm coming to Peckham. Coming to Peckham. Susan says 27. Okay, very interesting. Okay. I had to change the number. The number had been taken. You got to come only one number. Everybody guess only one number. One number. One number. I'm looking forward to sleeping in bed with. I'm not good with people sharing the same bed. But also go to maybe make a contribution, a late night contribution. Buy Lewis a drink. It's not that much money. If you saw me, you buy me a drink. Can we have a flat tour soon? Fridge first. Yeah, I can maybe give you a tour here, possibly. Do that here. Andrew is You can only write it down once. Write it down once, and if you could maybe do a second one if the first one's already been taken. Andrew is misbehaving again and guessing all the numbers. Yes, and I've reprimanded him. Thank you, Kermit. Go to Ko-fi.com, Lewis Schaffer. What is wrong with tonight? You are very consistent on these shows. I didn't feel like I was as alive or awake. I feel like I didn't feel like I was right there with you guys to give you the attention that you needed. Let's keep Lewis here until Sunday morning. I could do not a marathon. What are those things called? The winner has been won on your phone. Yeah, okay, keep on going though. I don't want to let you people go. Let's see what the winner is. The winner at 27 is Corsi. Congratulations, Corsi, for being the winner. Corsi is the winner. Thank you very much. You were participating. That's good. Corsi, you've won. So don't go Z. You've won. You've won the prize. So go to Ko-fi, ko-fi/Lewis Schaffer, and buy the stream a drink. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, says, and I think you wrote that number in too, Susan C. Congratulations, there's 27. It's not an unbelievable number, but it's a good number. It was the first guess too. Okay. Well, thank you, Kermit. It was the first guess. I love you, Kermit. Kermit is incredibly helpful and good. I copied Andrew because he's the cleverest. That whatever way you're doing it, you could do it. I mean, lots of people come up with interesting. We had an interesting winner before. The only number that wasn't taken, said Lucy. Mom is there at 29. He's the cheatiest. Possibly he is. Don't take up bingo calling, Lewis. No. I'm copying Andrew. So Andrew wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But tonight. Don't be like Andrew. I mean, be like Andrew, but not always. Loving his work. Andrew's good. Okay, so we'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you at 5 tomorrow. Indian scam call centers, please, tomorrow. Would you want to discuss that, or what are we going to do with that? Andrew Rubin's laughing. So we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow, everyone. second. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow at 5. I'll see you tomorrow at 5, okay? Here we go. At tomorrow at 5. I love you all. Thank you, Kermit. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Vatanai. Thank you, everybody who's been really loving to me.